Welcome to Cabinet on the 5th of February 2023. Good evening, Mr Griffiths. Welcome to your first Cabinet at Rugby Brough Council. Hope you enjoy. First item is to read out a fire drill. There's no fire drill or fire alarm expected today in this building. If the alarm sounds, could you please make your way down the main staircase, out into the car park, over to Caldecott Park, where you'll be met by a officer from the council who will tell us it's safe to re-enter the building. Thank you. The first item on the agenda is to confirm the minutes held on the 8th of January 2024. You've all had a copy of the minutes. I move that the minutes be approved. All those in favour, please. Thank you. Approved. Thank you. Secondly, apologies. Are there any apologies, Chief Executive, please?
Chair, we have apologies this evening from Councillor Moran and Councillor Carrie-Anne Dumbleton.
Okay, thank you. Declarations of interest, item 3, to receive declarations of non-pecuniary interests as defined by the Councillor's Code of Conduct. No, thank you. B, pecuniary interest as defined by the Council's Code of Conduct for councillors. No. And C, under Section 106 Local Government Finance Act 1992, non-payment of community charge or council tax. No. Thank you. Item 4, question time. Are there any questions, Chief Executive, please?
There's no questions, Chair.
Thank you. Moving on to item 5, it's the Corporate Peer Challenge, which is mine. This was brought up at last Cabinet meeting. Since the last Cabinet meeting, there's an action plan been submitted and it will be discussed tomorrow at Council. Are there any questions? No, thank you. I'll move it from the Chair. All those in seconder, please. All those in favour? Thank you. Item 6, growth and investment, approval of community infrastructure levy. Councillor Picker, please.
Thank you, Chair. So this is the approval of the community infrastructure levy charging schedule as set out in the report. The draft schedule has been to independent examination. It has found to have been sound, and it won't affect the emerging local plan either. So I think at the end of the very long process to get to this stage, I will simply say that we should adopt the community infrastructure levy as set out in the report.
Thank you, Councillor Picker. Councillor Mystery, any questions? Councillor Roodhouse? Do it all at Council tomorrow. It's been moved by Councillor Picker. I'll second it. All those in favour? Approved. Thank you. Item 7, Article 4, direction multiple houses in multiple occupation, please.
Thank you again, Chair. So again, as set out in the report, this is to bring forward an Article 4 direction to remove permitted development rights for dwelling houses to be changed to houses in multiple occupancy. This forms a package of measures that we're looking at in relation to homes in multiple occupation. So there's the emerging local plan, and then there are other things going on behind the scenes. So pleasure to bring this forward. It will go forward for a 21-day consultation, and then after that there will be the order will be made, and then 12 months after that it will take effect. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Councillor Mystery, any questions? Councillor Rood.
Yes. So, I mean, it's a welcome move that we're actually going down this route now. Certainly I know of 2 HMOs which are being brought forward in particular areas, and there's just absolutely no car parking, there is absolutely nothing. They're in tight terraced streets. So we do need to get control as quickly as possible.
Thank you. I totally agree. Councillor Picker's moved it. I'll second it from the Chair. All those in favour? Thank you. Approved. Thank you. Agenda item 8, Finance, Performance, Legal and Governance portfolio. Councillor Ms Robbins, please.
Thank you, Chair. Obviously, this is going to budget setting in 2 weeks' time, and I'm sure everybody will want to keep their powder dry for then. Just a couple of key points. We will be setting a balanced position for 24-25, and there are savings of 3.033 million. 1.643 million is are temporary and 1.390 are permanent savings. The rest, obviously, it's all in the budget book, which I'm sure everybody has read from cover to cover. Obviously, this will be reported to full council in 2 weeks' time. Other than that, I move the recommendations that it goes to full council.
Thank you, Councillor Robbins. Councillor Mystery.
Thank you, Chair. I'll save it for tomorrow.
Councillor Rodas.
I'm not sure about keeping powder dry. We might have to ignite it a bit before, otherwise we could be here till 3 o'clock in the morning trying to get things sorted out. So I am very mindful, and our group's discussed it, that if we can get some work underway before the 20th, so we can get home by midnight, that may well be one thing we can try and achieve if we can, with the Chief Officer of Finance.
I totally agree, Councillor Roodhouse. You and I have both, and Councillor Mystery, we've all three of us been there, budget setting meeting till gone midnight on one occasion, I believe. So yeah, if we can avoid that, it would be most advantageous. Thank you.
I've listened to both your comments, and no doubt there is room for a little bit of a conversation between everyone. It's been moved. I'll second it. All those in favour? Thank you. Councillor Robbins, Finance Performance Monitoring 23-24. Quarter 3, please.
Yes, this is quarter 3, which brings us up to the present. We're now in quarter 4. And again, a few key notes. Forecast pressures, 1.106 million. This is offset from savings, net cost of borrowing of 1.249 million. Again, this is going to full council tomorrow, so I'm sure there will be plenty of comment from people then. Thank you. I'll move as printed.
Thank you, Councillor Robbins. You're saving it till tomorrow, Councillor Mystery?
Yeah, I think we've already had a discussion with the Chief Officer over the last couple of days, so we're on the queue.
Thank you.
Just a couple of points. It's around the performance indicators and the new dashboard we've got, which is great. It will get even better when we can get it more populated with some more key performance indicators, so we can actually get some greater trend analysis about what's going on. So it's a step in the right direction, but as going back to the peer review at the beginning, I think we need to see some greater traction and some more acceleration behind it now.
Yeah, I agree, but at least we've now got a key indication, a KPI report which we can actually understand and actually get into and see what's going on. So, as you say, that is a step in the right direction, and I look forward to seeing it further spread out so we can dig deeper into it as time goes on.
Thank you, Councillor Robbins. It's been moved by Councillor Robbins. Can I have a seconder, please? Thank you. Councillor Watson-Merritt, thank you. All those in favour? Thank you. Item 10, Councillor Robbins, members of working groups.
I'll move as printed, Chair. Yeah, that's fine. I think it's all in order. I can't see any problem with it at all, and I'll move as printed.
Thank you. No questions? No questions? Thank you. Been moved by Councillor Robbins. I'll second it from the Chair. All is in favour? Thank you. Communities, Homes, Digital Communications Portfolio, Area Action, Ben and New Bilton. Councillor Willis, please.
Lovely, thank you, Chair. This report outlines how the Council implements an approach to levelling up in 2 pilot areas, namely Ben and New Bilton wards. Why Ben and Bilton? Fuel poverty is higher there than the Warwickshire average. There is higher than the Warwickshire average dependence on universal credit, and there is a lower healthy life expectancy. The plans will look at addressing specific issues, e.g. financial exclusion, wider determinants of public health such as income, isolation, access to suitable transport, community safety and public health. Cabinet recommendation is that the area action plans for Ben and New Bilton wards be approved. They are a welcome initiative. At a county level, I tabled the area action plan idea. Thank you to Tom for giving me a nudge on the day. They were warmly welcomed by the other boroughs and districts. So therefore, if approved, the Cabinet will be agreeing to a suite of actions that will support delivery of the corporate strategy delivery plan and align with the Borough Council corporate strategy. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Willis. Councillor Mistry.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I think I welcome this report, and if you remember, I think we had COVID and there were all issue with the staffing, and if you remember, we went almost 2 years ago to New Bilton with the chief officers, and we had a walk, ward walk and saw all the issues. So here we are almost 2 years later. I welcome this. In the meantime, I think we've had the census, and it highlights since the last census, before 21, how much the demographic of the area has changed, the population changed, and the dynamic is that it's brought its own problem, which we need to address, and Henry Biddington and his team have really put the plan together, working with the most important thing is we can't do it alone. So we need the police and county and all the other agencies working together to put something. It's not going to be done overnight, but if you have a plan, we need to execute it and trying to improve the area. I've been saying for a long time that within a mile of this town hall, we need to look at the things beyond what you see on the peripheral. So welcome this report, and hopefully we go forward with it. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Yes, I remember it well, having a walk with you down New Bilton, and I'm pleased the report's come forward. It's working with our partners, which we've got to do, which you've already mentioned, and we'll wait and see. Thank you. Councillor Rodas. Said it all. Thank you very much. It's been moved by Councillor Willis. I'll second it from the chair. All those in favour? Thank you. Councillor Willis, item 12, draft housing revenue account, please.
Lovely, thank you, Chair. The primary purpose of this report is to present the draft housing revenue account, revenue position and capital position for 24-25 based on budget submissions, plus the HRA medium-term financial plan ahead of the final budget presentation and rent setting at full council tomorrow evening. The HRA balanced budget comes in main reserve at 3.84 million, annual HRA around for 24-25 at 22 million. All HR reserves will total around 24.5 million. And we're also looking at a rent increase of 7.7% on all dwellings. I'm sure we'll talk more about this tomorrow evening, and indeed I will in my introductory report. Members will be aware, of course, that rent increases in last year were capped at 7%. We are now in a position to apply CPI plus 1% policy for 24-25, taking us to 7.7%. I think with that in mind, I'll leave it for there, Chair, until tomorrow evening, unless there are any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Willis. Councillor Mistry, no questions. Councillor Root.
I look forward to Councillor Willis's statement and speech tomorrow night.
Thank you for those comments. Councillor Willis has moved it from his position. I'll second it. All those in favour? Thank you. Approved. Councillor Willis, item 13, asylum seeker support with Warwickshire County Council, please.
Thank you, Chair. The report sets out a proposal to share with the County Council an allocation of £192,750 unring-fenced funding received by the Borough Council from the Home Office during 23-24. This is in respect of asylum seekers living in contingency accommodation in Rugby. In terms of the current position, the unring-fenced funding was allocated on a basis of £750 per asylum seeker. The funding was paid directly to the Borough Council, whose role has been to lead and coordinate the multi-agency response. However, the county has also provided significant support via its youth and targeted support team. In terms of the recommendation is that a supplementary general fund revenue budget of £96,375 be established to enable the transfer of 50% of the grant funding to Warwickshire County Council. I move the report as written, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Willis. Councillor Ministry, no. Councillor Roodhouse.
I'm just mindful that this item is going to council tomorrow night for discussion and debate. And I'm also mindful it will be in front of a much bigger audience tomorrow night within this council chamber. May could well be some heated discussions going on. So I just hope that we can actually discuss, if we are going to debate this item, in a grown-up and sensible way and not actually get into any particular issues.
Well made.
I think you'll find we're all grown up in here. Thank you. It's been moved by Councillor Willis. Can I have a seconder, please? Councillor Watson-Merritt, thank you. All those in favour? Passed, thank you. Excuse me. Sorry. Item 14, change and transformation, which is me, and it's agency workers policy and dignity at work policy. I must inform the council that it is currently undertaking a review of all its HR policies. As the report states, the review has identified the requirement to create two new policies. One, the dignity at work policy, and the agency workers policy. I must inform council that it also includes councillors. These two new policies ensure that Rugby Brough Council is adopting best practice, and I'd like to ask that this report, once it's gone through the system, comes back to us so it can go to Equality and Diversity to have a look at. I'm not moving it to Equality and Diversity right now. It's got to go through the system first. So I'll move it from the chair. Sorry, have you got any?
Thank you, Chair. I take it this is a working document, and I've read through it, and I may have seen a couple of gaps. Prepared to talk to the officer, see whether it can be accommodated, and work, to tighten up or whatever you think, yeah? So if you're happy to, over the next week or two, hopefully bring up what I think are the gaps that, if you're prepared to listen.
You're more than welcome to speak to me.
Yeah.
Have a chat and I can go to the officer, not a problem, or
Okay.
go with you, not a problem.
All right, thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Councillor Roodhouse, nothing.